How you doing? I'm going to start out with a story first before I get started. I meant to film this out in the field the other day, but a storm front moved in, and so I kind of scrapped the project, and I decided to go on a 6-mile hike. So yeah, I'm going to be filming this one inside today, because now it's windy out. So let's get started. Karen is getting her Alice pack together, and I wanted to show 2 ways to set up your Alice pack. One is going to be without the frame, and 2 will be with the frame. And then, this little bonus footage, I'm going to show you how I accessorize my pack and set it up for my needs. But first, I want to show you this right here. I've upgraded my straps. I am not using the original Alice pack straps. These are upgrade Alice pack straps, and this is a Molly 2 waist belt that I've got. And I've got all these from Amazon, extremely cheap. Now, a lot of people will go with the standard issued Alice pack straps and waist belt. They like that and have no problem with it. But I decided to upgrade, so it's pretty much up to your personal preference on how you want to set it up. So, that being said, there is a right and a wrong way to put these straps on. If you look at how they're curved right here, they go this way on the pack. Curve facing out, because if you got the curve facing in, you're pretty much going to choke yourself. So, here on the Alice pack, if you look right up here, you'll see 2 little clips, and that's where the shoulder straps go in. So all we are going to do is simply run this through this clip here, and we're going to go ahead and do the other one since I haven't got it in my hand, and we're going to run it through this little clip there. Actually, kind of more of a loophole. Then we're going to simply put it in this buckle right here. Now these are the friction type buckles. So once you get it put in there, they're really simple to adjust. Now after you've had this set up for a while, it will start to create a little crease, and that is where you set your straps. This is where I use a general strap setting is right there. The Alice pack without the frame is great for EDC, your everyday carry bag, or your get home bag, or a short day hike with just a couple of essentials in there. But you don't want to put a lot of weight in this because there's not much back support and you don't want to hurt yourself. Okay, let's get down here, and we're going to attach the bottom part of the straps, the shoulder straps, and these are the quick release straps, and these are very easy to put together. Over here we have this little hook, and we're going to run the bottom of the strap. This is actually the top of it. Here's the bottom of it. You see it's got this little loop in there. We're going to run that through this little hook and just simply feed it back through itself. The cool thing is, it makes it a lot easier to put these straps on. Now, very, very quick heads up, and I've found out by experience, make sure you undo your waist belt first before you decide to pull the quick release strap, because if you don't, you're going to actually probably, due to the weight of the pack, fall over backwards. And from experience, not as fun as it looks. Okay, so repeat this on the other side. Do that, goes through the little hook. So we put the pin in, clasp it. From this point, you can now use your pack. You've got the top shoulder strap adjustments, and these are the ones that you'll use all the time, are the bottom ones. And you just pull them, and just to release, just pull back on the clip. Now, this is another option. And I like to use my waist belt with my pack without a frame. And one is I just put my accessories on it. 2, it holds the pack closer to your body. That way, if you're hiking up down hills, doing a little rock climbing, the pack back there is not wiggling around on you. This is the Molly 2 waist belt. The correct way to put this on your pack is the bottom right down here faces your butt. Now I've used it this way. It did not work for me. I actually put it on backwards. I have no idea reason it works that way. It just does, so I don't fight it. So once again, that is up to your personal preference. Now, what we're going to do, if you look here, using the same loop as we used for the shoulder strap, and we're going to be using the bottom straps right here on the MOLLE 2 belt, and the top straps, we're just going to forget about them. So, remember, we're doing this upside down. So we're simply just going to go through the loop and buzz through the compression buckle. And we're going to leave it loose for right now until we get the other side attached. That way we can even the belt up. So let's go ahead and do this. And we're through there. Remember, we're still doing the whole thing in somewhat reverse. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and tighten these down and center the MOLLE belt up as much as we can at the center of the pack. Now your pack is set up and ready to go. Once again, the waist belt is an option. You don't have to have it on there for the pack to be functional. But, there you have it. Now we're going to set the Alice pack up with the frame. Now this process is going to take just a little bit longer. But if you notice at the top, I've got a little piece of rope on there. The purpose of this rope is so I can grab the pack and pick it up or hang it from a tree. Now a lot of people make a little 550 cord loop here, and yes, I will do that after this rope breaks, but until then this rope serves its purpose and has not given me any problems. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we need to slide the frame into the pack. Now in the pack it's got this little pocket. Boom, we slide it in and your frame is in place. And don't forget to pull your rope up. Down here next to the little hooks that we used when it didn't have a frame on there, you're going to find the strap. I take this strap and I wrap it and I go in between here, between the frame, and then go back to the pack. This keeps it taut on the frame, and these are the exact same compression buckles, I guess you call them, as on the straps and the waist belt. I'm just going to feed that through and tighten it up to keep the pack nice and taut. Of course, we're going to keep that on the other side here. Right there, that little hole in the frame, through the buckle, eventually through the buckle, there it is, and simply tighten away. And yes, I'm going to go ahead and torque these down now because they can only go so far in the pack. Now our frame is securely attached to the pack. Time to put the straps on. Once again, I will remind you, there's a right way and a wrong way to put the straps on. Simply just facing out like this. So, coming back up here to the top of the frame, if you look on the top of the frame, you'll see this little bitty metal loop, we'll call it. You must use that. If you do not, what happens is the straps will actually start to slide in and pinch your neck as you're hiking, and that is very freaking uncomfortable. So we're going to run through that little hook. Same thing on a compression strap. And I've got my groove, so I'm going to go ahead and preset it. And another thing I like to do is just go ahead and tuck this underneath. That way it's out of the way and doesn't slap you on the back of the neck as you're hiking. And we're simply going to do the exact same thing on the other side right here. Now, these are very easy to adjust, trust me. And tuck that in out of the way. Now, a lot of people will go through the frame loop and then through the pack loop. That's your personal preference. I've never had a problem with the pack coming undone like this, so that's totally up to you. Okay, we got our straps on. This is going to be a little bit different. You see this big round hole with the grommet in there. That protects the strap from getting torn up by the metal. Now you kind of have to be careful how you put this on. You want the strap on the outside of the frame. So we're just going to simply feed it to the hole. And feed the strap back through itself. It's outside of the frame, and then come around here and hook it to the top half of the shoulder strap and attaching it through there, putting the pin in and clasping it, and this side is done. So let's come over to the other side here real quick. Remembering to keep the strap on the outside of the frame. Running it back to itself. And simply just hooking it up. Now, our straps are attached. Time for the waist belt. As you can see, I've already got my accessories on this waist belt. Here we have the Condor H2O pouch, and I found another little pouch that I put my backup camera on, and I just simply attach that to the MOLLE webbing. And pull this over here. This is the I think it's Condor makes it, or Government Surplus. This is the med kit, and of course I've got it attached to the MOLLE webbing on the pouch. And then here, of course, I got my trusty knife. So let's get this set up. Now I'm going to give you a quick heads up. I will be attaching this the right way to the pack. Yeah. Label down, that faces the butt. Now remember, we're going to be working backwards with this. So you're going to lay it down with the crown, or the round part, face of the pack. Then we're simply, see these two loops here, metal loops. Just going to start running our straps through there. So let's run the first one through, and I'm going to pop the second one. Now this, remember, we're working backwards with this project. Do the same type of compression buckles. Now do not tighten this down all the way until you get all the straps through, because you want to even up the belt on the pack. If you don't, the weight distribution will be off by a little bit. It's not a big deal, but it'll become extremely uncomfortable on your hips. Once again, this is a lesson I've learned personally. We're just simply repeating what we did on the other side. Now that we're officially attached, it's time to even this up the best we can. So I like to get the middle of the waist belt lined up with the middle support of the frame as best I can. So simply just going to torque these down. The best I can, and I like to run the excess strap back through the metal loop because I don't like a bunch of straps flapping around. And there we have it. Now, the belt is on there as tight as it will go, but there's still plenty in it. Don't worry about that. That is actually supposed to happen. The reason is the belt needs to contour to the back of your body. So it's only going to go so tight. The main reason I torque it down is to try to center up as much to the pack as possible. Now, from this point, your pack is 100% usable. Now, there's a couple things you're going to find out. You will have to make adjustments to it in the summer, spring, the fall, winter. When you put coats or layers on, you will find yourself adjusting the belt and adjusting the straps to where you need them. Not a big deal. Okay, there you go. The pack is set up, and after this, I'm going to show you how I like to accessorize my Alice bag. Now it's time for the bonus feature. I want to show you how I accessorize my Alice pack. I've done quite a bit of work to it, and I've actually got several different videos on how I modified it, so if you want to scroll back and take a look at those, it'll show you. But I'm going to give you a quick summary of what I've done right now. So I'm going to flip this over on its back and show you what I did to it. The first thing, and that was one of the first modifications I made, I put these big nylon straps and buckles on here. That way I could hold either my emergency shelter and blue tarp, or I can put a sleeping bag on there and my emergency shelter. And these are really easy to attach. Right here they've got these little like molly hooks or molly loops on the bottom of the pack, and I just ran these through there and attached it all the way around. And of course I put snaps on mine. That way there's no way in heck it'll slip off and fall, because you do not want to lose anything in the bush. But I still made it adjustable so I can actually open it or tighten it up or loosen it up and add and take away, and more crap would fit on the bottom of the pack. So let's take a look up here on the top half. Of course, you notice the big red knot up here. We just pull that up, and that's what we use to hang the pack from the tree or pick it up. And once again, you can put the 550 cord on there, no big deal. The other thing I've added, you see, I got two more buckles, two more straps right here. The purpose of this is you can attach, what I do is I attach my thermal rest on the top here, and that way it's just easier to tighten up. And yes, there is a video on how I put these on. Might as well show down here real quick. You can see I've actually cut the Alice straps and put buckles down here. That way you get easy access to the top flap. And once again, I have put snaps on there to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Now over on this side, I've attached my machete. I'm a firm believer in carrying a machete with me. Basically all this is just I put in a bunch of Velcro to hold it into place and keep it taut. That way it doesn't go anywhere, and it is on my right side, and I am right-handed. And all I have to do is just reach over my shoulder and pull my machete out. I'm using Junior on the Alice and Senior Molly 2-pack. And you've already seen what I've done to the belt. Of course, I've got miscellaneous carabiners on the outside and a couple on the inside. And one other item I've added, and that is I simply put on my compass, little carabiner, put it at the top of the quick release, not at the bottom. That way you don't accidentally undo your pack. And of course, use some nylon strapping and simply put in some more snaps, and boom, we have, if I can get the darn thing open, Now notice I've oriented all the stuff that I need to get to immediately, such as the machete, the compass, first aid kit down here, and my backup knife on the right, because I am right-handed, so I oriented everything on the pack that way. That's totally up to you if you want to do that. So, here's been a look on how to set up your Alice pack. We're going to do a real quick summary. And the first way we set it up without the frame, we just use the straps, and a waist belt is an option, which is good for an EDC or a get-home bag or a short day hike. Remember, do not put a bunch of weight in there because there's no frame support whatsoever and it does tear your back up. Then I showed you how to set the pack up with the frame, which once again is great for your EDC, get-home bag, day hike, a 2-day trip, 1-night stay is perfect for that. And done all that, and then of course I showed you how I like to accessorize my pack. So that pretty much concludes this demonstration. Comments are more welcome. If you see another way or how you set your pack up, feel free to put it in the comments section. I'd like to hear from you. And that does it. Like always, thanks for watching.